The Carabao Cup might not be the priority. Elevation back to challenger status is Liverpool's aim, whilst Leicester want an immediate return to the Premier League, but winning becomes a trait when it happens every week, and both will want to continue that momentum. Our referee tonight is Tim Robinson. Over on TalkSport right now there's commentary of Brentford against Arsenal. This weekend we've got football galore on Saturday before the return of the WSL on Sunday, and the whole weekend is dominated by the Ryder Cup. Mickey Gray is with me. Both have bigger fish to fry, but Liverpool don't want to see a route to silverware disappear this early. How much of a threat are Leicester City?
Oh, well, there's no question they're going to be a threat. There's still quality in that starting 11 that we'll see in front of us, setting up against Liverpool here at Anfield, and they want to get off to a bright start if they possibly can. And I always say, if you're the underdogs, you need something to hang on to. That's why the first 10-15 minutes is important for the away side.
Well, the ball is already over on the left side, and James Justin, who prefers playing as a left back, is fouled by Ben Doak, who makes an immediate impression on the free kick given to Leicester just left of their own penalty area. First touch in Leicester blue for Connor Cody. It used to be a red here, remember? Ball played out by the goalkeeper, and then Cody once again being hounded by Doak. The press is on from Liverpool right from the very off, but they've dealt with that well, and the goalkeeper in particular, Jakub Stolarczyk, flips the ball into midfield, and Leicester, with their captain tonight, Ricardo Pereira, try to come forward. They've got a back four of Ricardo Pereira, Suter, Cody and Justin, and Kuhn, Chowdhury and Casadei in the middle of the park, with McAteer playing on the left-hand side, Albrighton on the right, and Iheanacho through the centre. Here is the Turk, Agoon, who's dispossessed by Tsimikas out wide to the left, and Diogo Jota, who moves up towards a level with the edge of the 18-yard box before he's fouled by the Australian international Harry Suter, and it's a free kick to Liverpool in front of the Anfield end. They're shooting from right to left in red shirts, red shorts and red socks, and it's all blue of Leicester shooting from left to right.
Well, a little bit silly from Harry Suter there, giving the ball away, and I think a little bit of frustration trying to win the ball back. Has given Liverpool the opportunity very early on in this game to put the ball into Leicester's box.
Costa Tsimikas, who's just signed a new long-term contract, can whip balls in from this sort of range. He's a great deliverer of a dead ball. Cody Gakpo in there. Endo is also there, so is Kanate up from the back, and the ball is steered in towards the near post. It's punched away from the edge of the penalty area and cleared by the goalkeeper, and then picked up on this right-hand side at some speed by Younis Agoon. And Casey McAteer is going through the centre, and he's one-on-one with Keller. He slips it past him, and he's scored after 2 minutes and 8 seconds for Leicester City on the breakaway. The team top of the championship have scored away at Liverpool, the second best team in the Premier League right now. And Casey McAteer is having one hell of a breakthrough season. The academy graduate who made his debut on the opening weekend of the season against Coventry has just scored at Anfield.
It's just absolutely incredible. At one end, Liverpool have a really good opportunity. It's well cleared by Leicester City. But then the amount of players that Leicester get around the ball to win it back high. In unison, he just has a couple of touches down this right-hand side. What an amazing run from Casey McAteer behind the two centre-halves of Liverpool. He's in acres of space, and talk about keeping you cool so early in a game. The pass is just timed to perfection. Just gets his head up, doesn't even have to have a touch of the ball, and Kelleher is picking the ball out the back of the net. Super finish, and what a start for the away side.
Well. After such a great start, I doubt Liverpool wanted to stop playing Premier League football. Pep Lijnders warned his Liverpool charges that they're facing a team with Premier League quality tonight. Any slip in concentration would be punished. Their first slip in concentration was punished.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. It's a fantastic start from Leicester. Set the stall out right from the beginning. That high press, trying to win the ball, but when they had to defend, they threw their bodies on the line. It was a great clearance, actually. And when they get that ball down, it's 2 or 3 touches later, it's in the Liverpool net. Unbelievable from the Championship team.
Well, it was a good start from Leicester City. They've made a positive start to the Championship season. They've made a very good start here. Costa Tsimikas was on the floor when that goal happened, and it did sort of build down the Leicester right, the Liverpool left, where he would have been, but I think he picked up an injury from the free kick that he took, and then it got cleared out, and then as a result of that had to come off the pitch. He's actually spent the last 30 seconds watching on as Liverpool trying to build up from the back and look to respond to what was the worst possible start. They trailed by a goal to nil inside 3 minutes. It's now up to the 5th minute of the game, and it's Liverpool 0, Leicester City 1, and live on TalkSport 2 tonight. Thank you very much, wherever you're lending us your ears from. We'll be able to listen to Ryder Cup on this channel over the course of the next few days. Here's Wataru Endo in the middle of the park for Liverpool, clipping the ball out towards the right-hand side, taken down by Doak, who meanders into the penalty area, cuts in on his left foot, then gives it to Endo, who strikes towards the near post, and the goalkeeper, who I think saw it take a little deflection late, went down Jakub Stolarczyk and just allowed the ball to run past the post. It's away for a goal kick away to our left. We played 5 minutes. Liverpool 0, Leicester 1.
Well, what a start to the game from both sides. It's end to end. You can see that it's so open for the forward players from either side to create opportunities. The one concern I had, Sam, and I'm pleased it hasn't, was whether you to see Casey McAteer was in an offside position as that ball got played through to him. But there was 3 Liverpool players around him, but he just timed his run absolutely fantastic.
And the purists will be happy because there's no VAR tonight, no VAR to the semi-finals of this competition. And again, they're cutting through Liverpool like a hot knife through butter, and the ball's picked up by Angoon once again. Brighton now is darting down the right. McAteer's to the far post. The ball's delivered through into the 6-yard area. It's half cleared by the retreating Kansar and out towards the far side, and it's away for a corner.
What a ball. Mark Albright over on this right-hand side. Again, Leicester just breaking through that Liverpool midfield as if they're not there. And that little reverse pass across to the right-hand side. Look, we have to take into consideration it's very windy out there, but that is an outstanding ball from the right-hand side.
Well, Leicester started the season with a high press, putting pressure on back lines and trying to win the ball back high up. It hasn't always worked perfectly, but they've started brilliantly tonight, and they've got the opening goal here, and now they have a corner in front of the Cop end away to our right-hand side. Cody up from the back. It's going to be taken by Ankun in towards the near post. It's headed away, and it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side after a good clearance by Ibrahima Konate, and it's a Leicester throw-in, which Suter will leave for James Justin over on the far side. Justin, who was touted as one of those who could move on at the end of last season after relegation, but said the way that Leicester stuck by him means that he wants to stick by them, and he's going to help them get promoted. That was his viewpoint. Here is Hamza Chowdhury out towards Justin, flicks into the air. Casey McAteer trying to get the better of Konate. There's an offside flag up, and Leicester give away possession back to the home side Liverpool, who trail here by a goal to 0. This is TalkSport 2.
Well, again, you know, that's been a wonderful start. What a nice story that is for James Justin. Had a very bad injury, didn't he? But he wants to stay with the club that had looked after him, got himself back to full fitness. He's got his opportunity again this season.
Space for Elliott to turn and prod the ball out towards the far side. Doak is on the chase. He's halfway inside Leicester territory on the right. Goes into the penalty area. He's struck down by James Justin, who made a challenge on him. The referee points to the edge of the 6-yard box for a goal kick. Doak wants a penalty. Tim Robinson, who is waving away any protest. James Justin went in with a slide tackle inside the penalty area. Doak picked the ball up on the angle of the box and ran towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Justin went to ground, and I couldn't work out whether Doak slipped or there was that much contact between the two.
Well, I think there's a bit of both, Sam, but didn't that get stopped challenging from behind? Because that's where it looked for me.
Here come Leicester at the other end. Here Nacho into the box, plays it against the sliding defender Kansar, and Kansar gets up and manages to clear the ball away. There was a half-hearted appeal from Leicester there for a handball inside the box as they travelled down the left side and into the channel, and it's been quite a interesting start here with some controversial incidents, and that penalty decision I think will be pored over. No VAR, as I mentioned. Tim Robinson was quick to dismiss it, but looking at the replay, it looked 50-50.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think if you're making challenges like that, you see good play from Doak initially to get past James Justin over on that left-hand side. But if you're challenging from behind, of course you're going to make contact with the ball, but do you make contact with the player before you make contact with the ball? And I thought Liverpool had a real case of a penalty decision there.
And that will be a discussion point for Jurgen Klopp after the game, if indeed they don't end up going through tonight. They'll be hoping that they can still come back and go through. But remember that statistic I told you earlier, only Manchester City have beaten Liverpool more times than Leicester since Jurgen Klopp took charge of the Reds. They're a bit of a bogey team for him. They don't usually win here though, that is true. Wataru Endo putting pressure on Ricardo Pereira, who came in from the right full-back position into midfield and lost the ball. The ball's ricocheted to halfway, but Curtis Jones has got it. In from right back to Wataru Endo again, out to the right side, collected by Elliott. Elliott tries to chip his way into the box, and then he goes wide to Doak once again. Justin goes to engage in the left full-back position. Back into Doak, who's got a bit more space this time. Now it's on to Jones, who's on the right angle of the penalty area, attacking the goal away to our left in Liverpool red. Up to Gakpo, trying to turn away from Cody, can't get past him, gives it back to Elliott instead. There's a compact Leicester defence strung along the edge of the 18-yard box. Chowdhury's dropping in to make up an extra number as well, because Ricardo Pereira is almost playing as a centre midfield player at this moment in time. Still they come. Liverpool down the right with Curtis Jones, and then gives it back to Harvey Elliott via Doak, and then it goes all the way to halfway, and Konate has got it. We played 10 minutes, Liverpool 0, Leicester 1.
Well, that's the way Leicester City are going to have to defend when they give the ball away. Everybody behind the ball, making it really difficult for Liverpool to break them down.
Oh, ball over the top for Jota. The chase is not quite going to get there. It's going to skip through and go into the arms of the goalkeeper. Well, I'll check away to our left-hand side. Let me give you some latest scores from other games up and down the country tonight as Leicester try to play out from the back. Arsenal in front, away against Brentford by a goal to nil. Liverpool trying to hit back here. Elliott into Gakpo, trying to turn, blocked by Suter. Into the air it goes. Goes behind and out away and away for a corner kick over on the far side. Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. Liverpool trying to hit back and trying to press Leicester and stop them from getting the ball out of defence. They've barely got out of their own half since they scored that goal.
Yeah, well, it's great to see that Leicester have shown the confidence that they can actually play out from the back, but there's time and place to do it.
Here's the corner, in towards the centre, comes to the back post. Somehow it's gone between the legs of Jota, who sat on the ball instead of finishing the chance. Well, that was a lovely floaty ball to the back post, and waiting for it was Diogo Jota. I think he must have just seen it late, because he ended up sitting on the ball rather than converting a chance from 2 yards out.
Yeah, it's a wonderful ball into the box, and alongside Jota you can see Doak with a rebound as well, but it just comes over the top of a Leicester City defender. I think he does see it late.
Arsenal lead Brentford by a goal to nil. It's 0-0 in all the other games at this moment in time. The ball's loose inside the penalty area. It comes back towards Doak, who hits the top of the crossbar. It comes back out, and now it's bouncing around pinball style inside the penalty area. Elliott takes it on, gets a low-footed cross in towards the near post. Quanta tries to get on the end of it, but he's kicked Cody as he's trying to do so, and it's a free kick right on the edge of the box, and it's away by Leicester City, and they survive. Fulham have taken the lead against Norwich, and Blackburn are 1-0 up against Cardiff. Blackburn 8 changes, Cardiff 11 tonight. Now the latest scores from the EFL Cup. How on earth did that not go in? That's two big chances for Liverpool in the last 2 minutes.
Well, you can't believe Liverpool are not on level terms. Initially, Gravenberch in that midfield, I don't think he knows too much about it. I think it just bounces off his ankle and heads towards the Leicester City goal. It's a great save. Then you have to say, Ben Doak, look, he's a young man, but from that tight angle, I still think he's got enough to aim for.
Ben Doak hitting the underside of the crossbar. Leicester have got to stop keeping the ball away. Here is Kostas Tsimikas, near side, up to Elliott. Elliott gets the ball back off Jota. Plays it down the left and looking for Jota once again. Across comes Suter, cuts off the angle, and the ball goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Carlos Vinicius gets the goal for Fulham at home against Norwich. They beat Spurs in the last round. I was there for that game. They were terrific that night, actually, Fulham. The Spurs were absolutely terrible in the first half. Here hasn't been a great start for Liverpool, but since the goal that Leicester scored, they've been much better, and Leicester are really taking a risk with playing out from the back. I understand the sentiment, but you've got to be a little bit careful. Casadei up to halfway, plays it out wide via Iheanacho to Casey McAteer, the goal scorer. He elects to try and squeeze between a very tight gap, which he was never going to get through, and he's given the ball on halfway straight back to Wataru Endo. Out wide it goes to Elliott. It's non-stop action in the opening 13 and a half minutes. Doak round the outside, sends the ball towards the far post, looking for Jota. It's a brilliant delivery. It's smuggled behind by Ricardo Pereira before it can reach Diogo Jota. It's another corner.
You know, sometimes, Stan, you can put a young man in the starting 11, and I'm thinking about Liverpool here, and at times you look at the player and you think, I'm not going to give you it in this situation. Well, that's not the case with Ben Doak. Every single time they're trying to get the ball out to the right-hand side. What a start to the game he's had.
Yes, he's not phased, is he? Let's be sure. Tsimikas delivers the ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. He's headed away by Suter. Comes out on the edge of the area for Elliott, who tries to volley it first time, but it wasn't really on for that. He needed to allow that to come down. He couldn't do so. And it's cleared away by... Well, it's not cleared away by Stellato. He threatened to clear it away, and he's just rolled it out to Conor Cody, which again means that they're going to try and play out from the back. They've done that up to Kalichi Ahianacho. He's played it square, midway inside his own half, to the left and Casadai. Out goes McAteer, trying to take on Curtis Jones. He bumps chests with McAteer, and McAteer ends up on the floor. And they're suggesting there might be a head injury here. He's not happy at all, McAteer. I actually think if he has made contact with his face here, that is a foul.
Well, Curtis Jones knows in a foot race that McAteer's got the better of him, because he's played the ball and he's just tried to run it behind him, and it is a body check. Now he's holding on to his face, Casey McAteer, on the ground here, and I don't know how much contact there was with his face. It looked more into his midriff, Sam, than anything else. But I do think it was a foul. It was one that Jones got away with initially, but obviously the game's been stopped now.
Yeah, James Garner scored for Everton away at Aston Villa. No one saw that coming. It's Aston Villa 0, Everton 1. Let's see this again. McAteer's going down the left-hand side, and it is just like an outstretched arm that goes into the body of McAteer. I think that's a foul.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's one that the referee, Tim Robinson's, missed there. It's a little let off for Liverpool and Curtis Jones, because as that arm's risen, there's only one reason he's putting his arm. He's trying to make himself bigger so McAteer can't run round him.
In one-way traffic since Leicester scored the opening goal after 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and it's Liverpool who have been putting their foot to the floor since that goal was scored. These two teams both have had great starts to the season, 6 wins and 7 for Liverpool. The only game they didn't win was the opener away at Chelsea. They're on an unbeaten stretch that goes back to April, Liverpool. Here is Curtis Jones, midway inside opposition territory, just right of the centre circle. The ball goes back to Canate, the centre half. He exchanges passes with Jarell Quansah, and it goes left into Tsimikas. Tsimikas back to Jarell Quansah, who started the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers and did quite well during that match, I thought. Settled in quite nicely. He looks like he's going to be an elegant player. He's very tall and rangy, isn't he? Ball played wide by Canate, out towards the far touchline, 3 yards in from the right side, midway inside the Leicester half is Elliott. He gets it back, plays it infield to Gakpo. Down the right channel it goes to Jones, who's gone on from right back into a more advanced position. Back into Elliott once again, who cuts in left-footed, tries a drive to the far corner. It's always missing Stellatuk's goal, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. TalkSport 2, and Leicester lead by a goal to 0 away from home. The Hawksby and Jacobs show returns tomorrow on TalkSport, and every weekday from 1 o'clock. Tomorrow, TV presenter and actor Ross Kemp is in the building, and the former Premier League forward Peter Crouch is also on the show. On Friday, clips of the week are back, the best place to hear all of me and Mickey's mess-ups. From 1 o'clock on Friday on TalkSport.
And Sam, just as you were reading that out, Leicester have got to be careful here, because they're going to concede a goal by trying to overplay. And they've done really well defensively. They're getting themselves into some excellent positions when they do lose that ball. But there's just a time and place where you've got to get it, and you've just got to say, get it in the opposition's half, have a little bit of a breather, because we know the quality that Liverpool have got.
Blackburn 1, Cardiff 1 is the latest score from Ewood Park, as yesterday tries to move the ball forward on the halfway line, dispossessed once again. There haven't been universal rounds of applause for Leicester City. Listen, a lot of the fans are very supportive, think that things have gone well, but a couple of weeks ago they were sort of just scratching their heads and just asking questions. Is it a little bit too over-elaborate? Is it a little bit slow and ponderous? And they've certainly invited a bit of pressure since scoring that goal. 18 minutes gone, Liverpool 0, Leicester City 1. Ball on the right-hand side. It's picked up by Doak once again, who's twisting and turning and trying to cause James Justin some problems. It goes via Jones into Elliott, then back to the halfway line, just right of the centre circle. And Canate down the right channel into Jones. Jones lost the ball towards the edge of the box, on the edge of the D. It's taken down by Jota, half cleared by Ricardo Pereira. Comes back out to Jones, who pokes it round the corner into Gakpo's on the edge of the D. Cody fights for it, wins the challenge, gets the free kick, uses the experience. Conor Cody goes down, and Tim Robinson obliges just in front of the penalty area away to our left-hand side.
I tell you what you do, if you're an experienced player and your first touch is not right, fall over and put the ball in between your legs, and the referee will blow his whistle, and that's exactly what Conor Cody's just done. It's unbelievable. Gakpo was nowhere near him, really, and well, again, waving his arms around, the referee fell for it, didn't he?
Conor Cody, who has the rare experience of playing for Liverpool and Everton. Now, it's not that rare, but it's rare nowadays. We've got the game between Liverpool and Everton, the Merseyside derby, on October the 21st. It kicks off at 12:30, exclusively live to national radio, right here on the TalkSport network. Here is Sutar, back to Queven, to Stolarczyk, who clips the ball out towards the near side. It's headed on by Justin and into the path of Casey McAteer. Cassidy has gone further on, but it was a little bit weak for him. He tried to play an ambitious ball there, McAteer. And there's a couple of times where he's got into really good situations and he's just decision making is not quite right.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. Young in his age, there's no question about that, but I think at times you just got to try and use your old wise head. Got two players around and one of them have to make a decision, and if he makes the right decision, you know he's got the pace, we've seen it already, to get it behind this back line of Liverpool.
Here Nacho flicking when a more purposeful pass would have done. The ball is cleared as a result, and away come Liverpool down the left hand side. It's a late challenge by Harry Suter on Jota, which takes him to the floor, gives away a free kick. He's protesting his innocence. It's his first start of the season, Harry Suter, and that was a little bit ring rusty, I think.
Well, his eyes lit up, Sam, and he could certainly see the ball, and I think he has made contact again with ball and man with Diogo Jota down this left-hand side. It's whether he's got the ball first or his momentum's taken him through the challenge. He's waving his arms around, and again, Liverpool are playing at home. I think any 50-50 challenges like that, they're not going to go to the away side's favour.
There's a chase into the channel, and Jota got the first touch on the ball, went down the left-hand side. He's gone in with, I think, too much enthusiasm there.
Well, it's the momentum, isn't it? Didn't we see a silly red card at the weekend, and it was more about momentum, and maybe you stood showing a little bit, but you made contact with the ball first. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for some people that left a bad taste in your mouth. Malagusto translates literally to bad taste, by the way. Here's the free kick towards the far post, down towards Gakpo, cleared off the line, and it's behind and away for a corner kick, and Conor Cody has just produced a sensational goal line clearance. That was a brilliant delivery. Gakpo was free at the far post, and Conor Cody getting back spotted the danger and somehow flicked it over the top.
It's fantastic defending from Conor Cody. Worried about him playing in a flat back four tonight, but how many times has he done that throughout his career?
Here's the corner over on the far side. It's going to be taken by it's Jones who sends it in towards Canate, and then he tries to bicycle kick the ball towards goal. It's well behind the left hand upright, and it's Anaplane away for a goal kick. But there's a few conversations going on amongst the Leicester defence, because they have considered a lot of chances. Goalkeeper's had to make a save. Doak's hit the underside of the bar. There was a shot that went narrowly wide from Gravenberg, and then there's that opportunity for Jota where he sat on the ball, and now Conor Cody has just had to come to their rescue, clearing off the line from Cody Gakpo. It's been all action, but they still pose a threat on the counter-attack, that's for sure. Akun has it now on halfway for Leicester, needs an outlet. Chowdhury takes it in. They decide to go back to Suter instead. Leicester leading by a goal to nil. McAteer after 3 minutes. A good skill by Albrighton to go round the outside of Tsimikas and then produce a cross into the near post, which Tsimikas does well to get back and deflect. It's gobbled up by Kelleher and then taken forward by Gravenberg, who's knocked to the floor by Ricardo Pereira, who's going to get the first yellow card of the night.
Well, I don't think you can have any complaints about that one, Ricardo Pereira. I think, frustration just boiled over a little bit, trying to get back into his position. But prior to that, great skill and ability from Mark Albright again on this right-hand side to beat his man. But you could see he had 2 or 3 looks up, and he was looking in the 18-yard box to see if there was anybody for him to cross the ball, and that gave Tsimikas the chance to get himself back into position, make a little bit of contact with it. But when you break, everybody's got to break together. You've got to be on the same page. Use that pace that you've got, and certainly Leicester have got that in the forward positions. It would be amazing for them if they could actually double their lead.
Well, Leicester's start has been a record-breaking one. It's even better than the one that they started with in the Championship winning season 10 years ago under Nigel Pearson. It's been a brilliant beginning to the campaign for Enzo Maresca. Elsewhere tonight, Aston Villa 0, Everton 1, Blackburn 1, Cardiff 1, Bournemouth 0, Stoke 0, Brentford 0, Arsenal 1, Eddie Nketiah with a goal there, Chelsea 0, Brighton 0, Fulham 1, Norwich 0. Oh, they've given the ball away again inside their own penalty area as they're looking to play out from the back, and Jota takes it through the legs of Souter this time. Childry's there to tidy up, and then it's picked up eventually on this near side by Pereira, and somehow they play their way out of trouble. I mean, they don't get anywhere near the halfway line. It comes back again, but they're playing such risky football, Leicester City. They're bound to concede a goal at some point this evening if they keep persisting with this idea of playing out from the back with players that, let's be honest, I don't think have been used to doing it. Cody and Souter, for example, have only just making their first starts of the season.
No, absolutely, yeah, and you've got to try and play your way into first team football again if you've had a little bit of a time out. It's really difficult to get yourself 100% fit, and that just comes with game time, and you're going to make mistakes. But if you are going to make those mistakes, make them in the opposition's half. Don't make them in your own 18-yard box. You always look for traits. I'm sorry for blabbing on here a little bit, but Maresca, I'm thinking, right, what's he brought from Pep Guardiola? I don't see Man City playing out from the back when there's 3 or 4 Liverpool players around them. If there's a time for them to play the ball forward, they do it. They play around at the back when they've got time and space to do it. So you just wonder what this manager's going to bring to this Leicester City side.
10 minutes past 8 on a Wednesday evening. We're on TalkSport 2, and it's Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. 25 minutes have been played in this game, and 24 of them, I think, and 35 seconds have been played in the Liverpool half. It's been only the odd brief foray from Leicester City into opposition territory. Liverpool dominated the most of the game. They've had about 6 clear-cut chances already, and yet they trail by a goal to 0. Here is Wataru Endo for Liverpool, over halfway, playing it into Kostas Tsimikas, who just chops back in, plays it into centre field where it's picked up by Gakpo. Gakpo moves towards the edge of the area, pokes it over the top down the left for Gravenberch. He manages to ball the ball back into the centre. Jota with his back to go, can't turn, does come to Jones, who shoots, takes a deflection, comes out on this near side. Gravenberch can't get hold of it, nor can Tsimikas, and then they come away, and inside the box there might have been an offside play. There is, and it's going to be a free kick just on the edge of the penalty area for Leicester City, and they survive yet another wave of Liverpool attacks. You're listening to TalkSport 2.
On too many occasions, when Liverpool are getting the ball into Leicester City's 18-yard box, they're the ones who are having the first touch. Now, as a defender, you've got to try and read situations, and this is happening from corners as well. Liverpool are making the first contact with it, and then it's Leicester starting to panic a little bit, and they have to clear their lines. That comes down to a little bit of communication from your centre-halves. Conor Cody's got enough experience to organise a back four, albeit throughout most of his career he's played in a back three, or 3 centre-halves, and maybe a back 5, but that little bit of communication to your full-backs and your other centre-half really do help.
1-0 to Leicester, and Leicester on the attack away to our right-hand side. Rangers have gone 1 up against Livingston. They lead by a goal to 0 in the Scottish League Cup quarter-finals. Liverpool already have an expected goals figure, and we've played just 26.5 minutes of 1.03, yet they haven't hit the back of the net yet. 59% ball possession, 10 goal attempts already, 4 shots on goal. Absolutely sensational, and they still haven't managed to open up this Leicester defence, which is quite crazy really. They're coming forward over on the right hand side, and they've got Elliott on the ball. Elliott plays it infield, finds Jones, pokes it through to Cody Gakpo, who's dropped deep and shrugged off one challenge, then plays it infield, looks for a second, goes down, Ben Doak picks it up far side, and it's a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. The referee Tim Robinson initially played the advantage, then pulled it back when their attack didn't materialise to anything positive, and as a result of that it's a free kick to Liverpool on the edge of the 18-yard box away to our left hand side in front of the Anfield Road stand, just a little bit right of centre.
Yeah, I think Tim Robinson, the referee, has done exactly the right thing there. He's just tried to continue the play because it was a nice move again from Liverpool, but he rightly so, he's pulled that one back just outside of the 18-yard box. Give Liverpool yet another chance.
Aberdeen leading Ross County by a goal to 0. They're looking to beat them for a second time this week. This one in the Scottish League Cup. They beat them on Sunday by 4 goals to 0 in a much needed victory, and Aberdeen in front again tonight. 29 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. The free kick standing over it is Elliott and Jones. They've got Jota, Gakpo and Ben Doak in the penalty area, and Endo, and then queuing up on the edge Gravenberch and Tsimikas. The back marker is Jarrell Quansah. Here is Elliott's delivery, straight into the wall, comes back to him, he delivers it a second time, and it's aimed towards Jota, but it's too high, floats behind, it's out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, it's always very difficult there for Harvey Elliott. It's very close to the 18-yard line, and to try and get it up over the wall and then down and into the Leicester City goal. But you have to take the shot on, there's no other option because he's that close. And that ball eventually did come back to him. He did the right thing, just dinking it towards the back post, but it's very windy down at pitch side. He's got a little bit too much on that one.
Crikey, it's definitely Liverpool got the wind in their sails at this moment in time, isn't it? I mean, poor old Leicester City trying a very ambitious approach to come to Anfield and try and beat Liverpool at their own game. And Liverpool love to press. They're so intense at it. They've been schooled in it ever since the arrival of Jurgen Klopp. Yet, and they're one of the best sides in the world at doing it, let alone the Premier League. Yet they're inviting them on. And Conor Coady just waiting with the ball at his feet for someone to press him and then trying to shove it to the left. James Justin then trying to draw two people, then finding himself crowded out and having to run to the corner flag and hack it upfield just to get it away from harm's way. It's a dangerous tactic which, you know, unless they're incredibly lucky, is going to come back to bite them in the backside at some point tonight. Half an hour gone. This is TalkSport. Liverpool somehow 0, Leicester 1. Here is Jarell Quansah. Square ball just in front of the centre circle to Ibrahima Konate. Back to Jarell Quansah once again. Then Jones is being harassed by Chowdhury. Pokes it back and it's collected by Quansah, who nudges it forward. Headed away by Suter. Back down by Quansah. Chowdhury wins it. Albrighton into the feet of Yankun. And that ball goes immediately out on this near side. And Yankun manages to somehow win a throw-in for Leicester City midway inside Liverpool's half of the field. Wide on the right, Ricardo Pereira, the captain, looking for a bit of movement in front of him. Iheanacho has just come towards him, and then it's Yankun once again who's trying to get on the end of it.
And all that pressing that Liverpool have done, Sam, and the opportunities that they've had, we still have to go back to the scoreline, don't we, where they find themselves a goal behind. And Leicester have been, well, sloppy at times, because giving the ball away in their own half is then put pressure on themselves, where I think they could have controlled this first half a lot better than what they have done.
I don't know where Stolarczyk thought he was going, but he was on the right side of the penalty of the Leicester half, about 10 yards outside his penalty area, and Hamza Chowdhury played a blind back pass to the edge of his penalty area, and he wasn't there, and he had to scurry back into position to make sure that it didn't cause Leicester any further grief.
I probably think it wasn't a pass he was expected, let's be honest with you. I mean, they were in the opposition's half at the time.
Here is Jota down the left side for Liverpool, who are progressing forward once again. Tsimikas tries to deliver it. Pereira manages to clear. Jota plays it infield. If you're going to make 10 changes, by the way, this is how you play the Carabao Cup. Note Crystal Palace. Ball on the halfway line. Back to Quansah. He looks up, plays it square into Konate. I mean, I think fans will stomach 10 changes if you then get a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that conversation, Sam, that we were having in the car on the way to the game, of how many games that Crystal Palace could actually play this season, puts it into context of why those players should have went out and given a lot more against Manchester United.
Yeah, I was there last night. I was pretty disappointed. I spoke to Roy Hodgson afterwards, and he sort of said it was all to do with injuries, but his team, he really recognised they weren't really at it last night. But I think he has to take a little bit of responsibility for that, because he was talking the game down in the build-up to the match. Leicester City certainly haven't been talking the game down. Enzo Maresca was saying it'll be a nice game. It's been a nice game for them so far. They lead by a goal to nil. We played 33, and they are next in action on Sunday at midday, and they play Blackburn at Ewood Park. That game we will feature live on. It's not on TalkSport 2, that game, is it? No. We'll be keeping an eye on that. That'd be great. Yes, yeah. You're going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll be in the Sunday session. You'll have to come and speak to me at some point during Sunday afternoon. Again. Ball cleared away by Liverpool. Their next game after that is Preston this time next week, in a huge match in the Championship. That game is live and exclusive here on TalkSport 2. Ball played out towards the right-hand side, and Albrighton chasing it. Tsimikas has it, and Liverpool have possession inside their own half. This is TalkSport 2, and Canate moves forward. For all of their good chances, Liverpool haven't scored yet, but do you feel it's just a matter of time, Mickey Gray?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it comes in the first or the second half, or what I'd like to see more of, albeit they played some wonderful football so far, Liverpool, is Gakpo playing through the middle, but playing against centre-halves is coming too deep for me at times.
Yes, he has been. He's normally the centre forward, isn't he? Casey McAteer has robbed the ball on halfway. He's looking to poke it forward. Kwansart read the danger posed by Iheanacho, came sliding across 5 yards outside his box and put it out in the way for a throw-in over on the far side. McAteer saying that he wanted a bit more movement from the Nigerian, and I must admit, he wanted to leave in the summer, did Kelechi Iheanacho, but Leicester demanded, I think, about 18 million quid for him, and he's available on a free next summer, so that sort of put people off. Now he says he's focused and wants to get promoted with Leicester City, but he hasn't looked as sharp as maybe I think you need to be, and his touch has looked a little bit heavy. Just did that then, and he's played some sort of delicate flicks when a much more decisive pass would have been the selection, and he hasn't looked as in tune with the others as maybe some of the other lads have.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that, Simon. I think there's certain players, isn't there, that if they don't play every single week, they stand out a mile because their fitness levels drop so quickly, and I think Iheanacho looks as if he's one of those individuals. It comes to life when the ball comes around him, but just in that instance there, trying to run away from a centre-half when normally you think he'd get the better of him, he's just a yard off it at the moment, and I've just had a go at Gakpo for not playing alongside centre-halves. I think Iheanacho, you could say the same thing about him. I think he's got to try and play a little bit higher up the field and ask questions of the two centre-halves, the Liverpool centre-halves who he's playing alongside.
Ball floated forward by Curtis Jones. It goes over the halfway line and it goes straight through to Stolarczyk, away to our left-hand side. TalkSport 2. And the lights are on here at Anfield, and we're told about all these storms and issues, and it hasn't been that bad. It was a bit blowy, but apart from that, it's still been quite mild nights on Merseyside tonight. Here is Suter scurrying back into position because Jota is running at him, left side of the penalty area that Liverpool are attacking. Suter just holds him off. He's a man-mounting Suter. Oh, they're giving it away. Ricardo Pereira into Gakpo inside the area, right for the shot, deflected over the top by Pereira, who atones for his error by diving in front of the shot. And it's out and away for a corner kick over on the far side. What on earth is Ricardo Pereira doing there?
If Leicester give a goal away here, Sam, they can only blame themselves. I mean, they're trying to play 2 and 3 yard triangle passes in their own box after doing really well and winning the ball back off Diogo Jota there. Harry Suter does well. He sees a blue shirt in front of him, passes the ball to him. Then your next thought is, there's nobody on, clear my lines, we're still winning the game 1-0. Now Liverpool have a corner from it.
And it is a corner over on the far side. Jones floats it in towards the near post. Not a great delivery, but dealt with by Leicester. Comes back to Gravenberch. He air kicks the first attempt, but gets hold of the second. Doak down the left-hand side, sends a shot towards the near post. It's always rising and goes over the top of the crossbar. And it's away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And Liverpool have won this cup 9 times. Leicester have won it 3 times, 64, 97 and 2000. But Liverpool have had a habit of going out early in this competition in recent seasons. 4 times in the last 6 seasons they've gone out at this stage, all in round 4, the one after. And not a competition that has been their priority in truth until the season before last, when they won it on a penalty shootout at Wembley against Chelsea. Here is McAteer running forward for Leicester. Another rare foray into opposition territory. Casadei then tries to send the ball forward. That was an attempted shot. Either that or he was practicing for the Italian rugby union team as the kicker, because it's gone straight through the post but very, very high, and it's out for a goal kick away to our right side.
And it was a shame as well for Cesar Casadei, because he was the one who initially started that move with a lovely pass out to the left-hand side to Casey McAteer. And a little reverse pass back to him. He had a little bit more time than he thought, just rushed that shot.
There is Cody Gakpo coming forward for Liverpool. Oh my word, they've given the ball away again, Leicester, inside their own half. How many times have they done that tonight? They're coming forward now though, and Albrighton has teased it down the right channel, looking for the run of the Turkish player Yunus Akun. He can't quite get on the end of it because Canate has gone across and shut off the route to the right wing position and got it back to Kevin Kelleher. And Liverpool have possession again, but Leicester City again just so casual inside their own half, and they got themselves into a situation there where they won the ball back when Liverpool looked to be threatening, and then just immediately returned possession to the home team, as if to say, well, that wasn't as much of a test, why don't you try again?
Yeah, and it was Pereira again, the guilty man of giving the ball away, and he was the only one from the weekend, Sam, as we touched on, that played. I don't know if he's a little bit frustrated that he is the only player still out there from the weekend, but he's got to improve his passing, because the amount of times you give away to this Liverpool team, they will punish you.
Gravenberch moving forward. Liverpool come forward and send it towards the right hand side. Doak trying to keep it in, can't do so. It was a good ball that actually by Gravenberch, but it's a little bit too long, and Doak trying to chase it, ran out of room before heading it back into play. Liverpool have beaten opposition from lower divisions than their own in 17 of their last 18 League Cup fixtures, in which they have been drawn against them, and Leicester City unbelievably doing it again. Stolarczyk playing the ball from the goal kick to Cody's in front of his own goal. He gives it back to Stolarczyk, immediately rushed by Doak, and then it goes out playing away for a goal kick, and Mickey Gray throws his arms up into the air. He almost grabbed hold of our producer's chocolate buttons and started pelting them at the Leicester players and said, wake up, what are you doing?
Well, there's two things for me, Sam. If you're doing silly things like that from an experienced man, playing a simple little pass to your goalkeeper, where's your teammates calling him out and saying, what are you doing? But initially, add on to that is, where's the manager? Just to say, what are you doing giving the ball away so much?
I've never seen so many turnovers of possession inside one half of the pitch, and yet no one's managed to score from it. They've had 13 attempts on goal, Liverpool. Here's a 14th. It's by Gakpo on the edge of the area, driving the ball into the ground. It bounces up into the arms of Stolarczyk, and it will be cleared away. 5 minutes to go before half-time. Remarkably, Liverpool 0, Leicester City 1. And remarkably on the balance of play, by the way, not just the fact that they're top of the Championship and Liverpool are second in the Premier League. I mean, they've literally absolutely bossed the game, Liverpool. But every time they come forward, they do look dangerous. And Ricardo Pereira has spotted Casey McAteer again, down the left-hand side. He's burst into space, but his touch has taken him a little bit wide. He gets to the byline, tries to produce a cross. Again, the decision-making wasn't perfect, and he's ended up giving away a goal kick. He got into a really good position. His first touch wasn't brilliant, and then he just lost his mind a little bit there and ran down a cul-de-sac.
Well, I've criticised him on a couple of occasions just for giving the ball away there, but Ricardo Pereira, a wonderful ball again out to that left-hand side, and you can see after that there's 3 or 4 Leicester City players trying to get themselves around that 18-yard box with that final pass to try and get that second goal if they possibly can. Wouldn't that be wonderful for them if they could do that before half-time? Definitely something to hang on to, but it's that passing. You go back to that passing in their own half, Sam. It has to improve. The manager has to say something to the players, and the experienced players have got to pull people out and just say, look, we cannot keep getting away with this.
TalkSport 2, Liverpool 0, Leicester 1 just before half-time. Floated by Wataru Endo out towards the left-hand side, and Gakpo attacks the fullback Ricardo Pereira, plays it down the left channel. Jota tries to turn it infield. He goes past Suter, pulls the ball through the 6-yard box, steered away by Cody, and it's behind and away for another corner kick as we approach half-time. If Leicester get to the break without conceding a goal, it'll be a miracle. Tsimikas walks across towards the corner flag in front of the Anfield Road stand. Places the ball down. He's got 5 to aim at in the centre, and a few more joining now. Terrell Kwanzaa is trotting into the box as well at the far post. The young Englishman who's started against Wolves. It's towards the near post again, headed away from inside the box by Cody, and it's out for another corner. I think the crowd behind the goal thought that Cody was going to score an own goal there.
Well, on 2 occasions, that's Conor Cody being in the right place at the right time. Blocked the first cross into the box, and this time it looked as if Cody Gakpo was going to get that first touch and just nodded into the near post, but the centre-half was there.
Tsimikas in towards the far post this time. It's headed away by Suter, drops for Elliott. Elliott brings it down, plays it to Doak. Doak back into Elliott once more. He turns it back towards the middle part of the Leicester half, where it's turned in by Jones towards Konate. Goes back to Tsimikas, who shoots down low. It's straight into the arms of Stolarczyk. It's a comfortable save from Kostas Tsimikas, who hasn't scored a goal since 2018. Willem Twey is the last time he scored a goal. Here is Ben Doak picking the ball up after giving it away again. Low cross into the near post, smothered by Stolarczyk once again. and cleared away. But what do you reckon happened there? They had the ball, Leicester City, gave it away of their own free will, invited an attack from Liverpool, and Liverpool couldn't put it in the net.
Yeah, I mean, getting sick of saying it now, Sam, but it's just so sloppy from this back four of Leicester City. James Justin this time in the left back position, trying to play an inside pass. And we've got Ben Doak nicking the ball off, and he does the right thing. He's got one player to kick out in the 6-yard box, which is Gakpo. Tries to miss out the goalkeeper. Needs to get a little bit more pace on it. You can't criticise him for that. It's good wide play.
Hibernian nil, St Mirren 1, latest scoreline from the Scottish League Cup. Aston Villa still trailing to Everton by a goal to nil. Blackburn 2-1 up against Cardiff now. 0-0 Bournemouth Stoke. Brentford are 1-0 down at home to Arsenal. Chelsea 0-0 with Brighton just approaching half time. Fulham 1-0 up against Norwich. Lincoln 0, West Ham 0. St Mirren 1-0 up against Hibernian. Ross County 1-0 down to 10 men in that game. 0-0 Newcastle Man City, and Rangers lead Livingston by a goal to nil. You're up to date on TalkSport 2, bringing you live coverage from Anfield, where Liverpool have had about 7,365 efforts in the opening 44 minutes, and Leicester City have given the ball away about 4,253,722 times. Well, it might be a slight exaggeration, but you get the picture.
Can I keep the numbers a little bit lower than that? It's 1 in 3 on target for Liverpool, and they still haven't scored a goal, Sam. All that possession that they've had in the final third of the opposition's half, got to be better. I know there's a lot of changes, but the quality that they've got out there, they shouldn't be behind. They should be 2 or 3 in front.
Yeah, don't worry, they'll get another chance. Here is Doak over on the right hand side, moving into the box, getting to the byline, twisting and trying to get away from Justin. He plays it back to the edge of the area. Elliott out wide. Doak with a chance to cross, hesitated and was blocked by McAteer. It comes back to Elliott, who swirls across into the near post, headed away by Suter, and then it comes out on the left side of the Leicester half to Tsimikas, who's going to recycle it for Liverpool. We're putting the pressure on again here. Gravenberch towards the centre. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. The first half was Leicester lead by a goal to nil. It's Tsimikas poking it forward. Gravenberch's not going to get there. Suter didn't know what to do. Goldberg stayed on his line, so he turned and fired it out and away for a throw in level with the edge of the penalty area.
You can hear that urgency now from the home fans, want to try and get themselves back on level terms before half time. I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp wants exactly the same thing, because he's probably on a look at his bench thinking, I don't really want to play some of the players that have played over the last couple of weeks. I want to give them a little bit of a break if I possibly can, but needs must at times, and it might happen in this game.
Well, Salah not in the squad tonight. Here is Angun. He's managed to go past Kranjca, and he's moved to the edge of the penalty area. He needs a bit of support, and he might just get it. He's still got hold of the ball here, Angun. He did very well to get past Kranjca, but then didn't have the confidence to continue his play. He's now given the ball away, and then Chowdhury's gone firing in, and the free kick has been given for Cody Gakpo, and that's going to be a yellow card.
Well, he didn't half take his time to give that decision there, Tim Robinson. And I think Chowdhury, the reaction that he's showing now to the referee.
Playing to the gallery, you think the referee there?
I think a little bit, Sam, yeah. Again, it's very difficult unless we see a quick replay of it, but I think the ball was there to be won, and I'm sure he made contact with it.
He can't believe it, Chowdhury. Yeah. He's absolutely apoplectic. He cannot believe what's happened there. We haven't seen a replay of it just yet. It's still Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. We've got 20 seconds of added time to play here on TalkSport 2. After what has been a firecracker of the first half, here come Liverpool looking for an equaliser before half-time. Ben Doak running up at Justin. Justin playing the ball back into Cody after dispossessing the young Scotsman, and then it's picked up by Casadei, who runs into traffic. Chowdhury away. He gives it straight to Endo, and then Endo comes forward, produces a cross into the box, which should be dealt with by Suter. He just takes the basic and smacks it forward, and there's the half-time whistle, and somehow Leicester City are leading at the break at Anfield. And we're back underway. We're just starting here at Anfield. Liverpool getting us off and underway and shooting from left to right towards the Kop at the start of the second half. They're wearing red shirts, red shorts and red socks, and Leicester all in blue attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. No changes at half-time for either of the two teams, so Liverpool starting with Queben Kelleher in goal. We better watch this passage of play because they're playing out from the back, Leicester City. They've just got a goal kick and they're kicking it long, which is advisable. The first time they've done that all night. So Queben Kelleher is the Liverpool goalkeeper. The back four is Jones, Kranjca, Konate and Tsimikas. then the midfield trio of Endo, Elliott and Gravenberch, and then Jota, Gakpo and Doak up front. Leicester City, the championship team, top of the league so far this season with a fantastic run of 9 wins in 10 games in all competitions. Stolacek is the goalkeeper. It's Pereira, who's been booked at right back, Suter, Cody and Justin. Agun, Chowdhury and Casadei are in the midfield with McAteer and Albrighton flanking Iheanacho up top. Mickey Gray is alongside me, and no changes at half-time, but maybe a change in philosophy from Leicester City.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Sam. As you said, no changes, and I don't think that comes as a surprise for either side. I think both managers are probably pleased the way that they're playing, but they just need to shore things up. Certainly Leicester defensively and giving the ball away so much. It would have been interesting to be in that dressing room at half-time just to basically see what was said to the players. We've seen the goalkeeper already in the second half play a couple of longer balls.
Tsimikas trying to get down the Liverpool left and towards the edge of the Leicester penalty area, taken over by Jota and steered in towards the near post. Gakpo stretches down the foot, can't get there. It's away by Ricardo Pereira, further clear by Albrighton, but Endo picks it up, chests it down, moves forward, is about within 10 yards of the edge of the box when he lays it off to Gravenberch, who feints to shoot one way, then plays it into the centre, gives it to Gakpo, turns, fires, and brilliantly equalises. It's a super spin from Cody Gakpo. And Liverpool back on terms just seconds after the restart. A fist pump from Jurgen Klopp. It was a goal made by the double Dutch. Gakpo from Gravenberch's pass, and Cody Gakpo spinning and turning and firing low to the goalkeeper's left, arrowed the ball into the bottom corner, and it's now Liverpool 1, Leicester City 1.
Well, I don't know how many times we can say if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're going to get punished for it. And it comes again from Leicester City trying to play out from the back. Ricardo Pereira in that right back position tries to play a longer ball, and then Liverpool just pounce on them. Super finish, super footwork from Gravenberch at the edge of the 18-yard box. Feints to shoot, little drag back, plays in Gakpo, and that little swivel shot and turn was absolutely superb. What a great finish from the forward.
And at the other end, Leicester trying to find Iheanacho, but he didn't have the speed to get away from the defence, and out comes Kelleher and retrieves on the edge of his own penalty area. Liverpool 1, Leicester 1 now, and Leicester scoring 3 minutes inside the first half, and Liverpool scoring within 3 minutes of the restart. So both teams making fast starts to both halves. Liverpool making the fastest start to the second one, and that goal from Gakpo was really well taken. It was just the way he held the ball and turned very quickly, almost at lightning speed, and he completely dazzled his marker by turning and arrowing the ball across the goalkeeper into the far corner.
Yeah, well, it was a brilliant finish, Sam, and again, something that we were crying out for in the first half was your centre forward to play up against centre halves. First time he does it, gets half a yard and scores a goal.
Tsimikas bursting through a tight gap, running to the edge of the penalty area. The ball deflects into the path, and Jota couldn't control it after a spear away by Cody, and then it's picked up in the right full-back position by Albrighton, and they look to try and bring it clear Leicester City, but they're under the cosh now. Chelsea have taken the lead at home to Brighton by 1-0. Probably Ben Chilwell, he does everything else. And the free kick has been given here on the edge of the penalty area, and it's Chowdhury into Suter. Leicester have the ball, play it wide towards the right. The Turkish international Ankun takes the ball wide towards the right hand side, then falls over, and he's been wrestled to the ground by Wataru Endo, who's actually part of one of the most seismic results in the international break. He captained Japan to a 4-1 win over Germany. It was absolutely sensational, and it ended the reign of Hansi Flick as the German national manager, and actually led to the German team making an approach to Jurgen Klopp. He said no, not available. Here is Iheanacho, which is why now Julian Nagelsmann is going to be in charge for the European Championships. Ball touched away by Gravenberch into Tsimikas. The ball floated out wide towards the right. It's picked up by Elliott. It's onto the right-hand side, and it's with Ben Doak. And once again, Liverpool have the ball, and they're coming forward at pace. It's played down the right by Gakpo, and Doak chases it, but gives away a throw-in in the full-back position. And it's Blackburn 3, Cardiff 2 now. And Ewood Park had another goal in that game. It's been quite a fascinating first hour or so up at Ewood Park. The goal scored by Chelsea was registered to Nicholas Jackson, a Cole Palmer assist. Bournemouth are taking the lead against Stoke. That's the latest scoreline from the Carabao Cup as well. Here it's 1-1 between Leicester and Liverpool, and of course we will go to penalties if it stays like this, Mickey Gray, but I imagine that Liverpool won't be thinking about that.
It's not staying this way, Sam. It can't. The game's too open. There's too many silly mistakes in their own halves from defenders.
Here is Gakpo down the right side, moving towards the right angle of the penalty area. He tries to take on Cody, who shepherds the ball out of play. Somehow that's gone out for a goal kick, when clearly one of them must have got a touch. Goes behind anyway and goes out for a goal kick to Leicester City away to our right-hand side as Everton score the second goal of the game away at Aston Villa. Aston Villa played quite a strong team in that game, but Everton have doubled their advantage, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored a second goal, and Bournemouth have got a second goal in quick succession, 2 goals in 3 minutes down at the Vitality Stadium. Stoke having a bad time of it so far this season in the Championship and losing in the Carabao Cup as well. A late challenge on Chowdhury as once again Leicester play out from the back. This time Gravenberch just left a little bit on him and goes and apologises for that, and it's going to be a free kick 5 yards outside the box, just wide of the D. Going to get some changes, I think. Is that Patson Daka who's getting changed down in front of us? I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Wilfred Ndidi as well. He's getting changed too, and that Jamie Vardy is not in the squad tonight, is he? But I just saw him down there offering words of encouragement.
Well, I think it certainly needs freshening up. We touched on Iheanacho in that first half, Sam, didn't we? And he's coming a little bit too deep for me, and he's not involved in the game at all. He's just waiting for that moment for the ball to come anywhere close to him. Well, he stops running around and searching for it right now, and I think they just need a little bit more life in those forward positions, Leicester City, to try and get themselves back on top in this tie.
And towards the Iheanacho, headed away, and can't get on the end of it. Motaro Endo in the centre circle steers it wide into the right channel. Elliott now galloping forward, gets to the edge of the penalty area, goes out wide towards the right. Doak picks it up, sits down the fullback, plays it back infield, flicks it through the 6-yard box, is chested down by Pereira and into the arms of Kelleher, and it'll be cleared away by the Irish goalkeeper away to our right-hand side. 10 clean sheets in 22 appearances before today for Caoimhin Kelleher. Conceded after 3 minutes here, and he will be hoping he doesn't concede again. Here is James Justin picking the ball up and playing it out towards the far side. Collected now by Harry Souttar. Souttar up to Younis Akun, and he edges it on into the right wing position. And it's picked up by Albrighton, title winner with Leicester City in 2016, runs down a cul-de-sac, puts the ball out of play, it's out for a throw-in on the far side.
In point in case there, Sam, Younis Akun's got the ball out on the right-hand side, and he gets his head up, he's got nobody around him, and he can see Iheanacho just drifting in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, not trying to make that run to get away from his marker. As a wide player, I'm thinking, if my forward player wants a goal, I'm whipping that in. But he's just lost a little bit of faith in Iheanacho, as if he's not making those runs to try and get into a good position to score goals.
Doak back to halfway, collected by Elliott. Elliott looks up, there's a bit of space out on the far side for Jota. Jota brings it down, cuts it back. Quansah will take over. It's played infield towards Gravenberch, and then it's picked up once again by Diogo Jota. 1-1 the score on the night here at Anfield. 55 gone. Elliott gets the ball, didn't control that well, and Canate has to deal with an awkward ball which is dropping from the sky just right at the centre circle. Liverpool have it again, and now it's with Jones, who moves it infield, plays it to Gakpo, who turns it round the corner. He's so deep again, Gakpo, and he often does that, drops into a sort of number 10 position, but he does it so well and rolls his studs over the ball, quick towards the far side, the left. Gravenberch is chasing, he's going to get there, but he's going to be steered a little bit too wide, and now he has to come back and try and attack Pereira. It's aimed in towards Jota, but it was fizzed in at rapid pace, taken down by Doak, good touch. He's on the right angle of the penalty area, attacking the Leicester goal away to our right, in front of the Kop end. Liverpool coming forward once more. On the left now is Gravenberch. Out wider still is Tsimikas. Tsimikas swings it through the box. It's cut out by Souttar. Back to Gravenberch. All Liverpool once again, with 10 minutes played in the second half and 1-1 the score here at Anfield on Carabao Cup round 3 night.
They work it so well, Liverpool, don't they? If there's no avenue for them to go down on the right-hand side, they switch that play, but they do it very quickly, and there's movement in front of them.
Gakpo into the area, onto Elliott, who stumbles. The ball's picked up by Doak, tees it back up for Jones. Jones back out to the right. Doak once again tries to put the ball into the penalty area, gives it to Elliott, who turns, fires it into Gakpo, off the bar and in! Surely, smuggled away, comes back to Elliott, he pumps it through through the 6-yard box, and it goes out on the far side. How on earth did that not go in? It's hit the underside of the bar. The ball's been picked up on the left-hand side by Jota. He's weaved his way to the edge of the area. He's teed it up for Jones, who's not going to get there. It's steered away by Casey McAteer. And Anfield is absolutely in awe because it cannot work out how on earth that was not over the line.
Well, I'm sat here alongside you, Sam, now, and I can't believe that's not found the back of the net. It's brilliant play again from Harvey Elliott and Ben Doak down this right-hand side. Lovely little dink ball into the box. He just gets enough on it there, Cody Gakpo. The little glancing header as it comes down off the crossbar. Looked as if it was behind the line, but clearly not, as the Leicester City players had to fire themselves back to clear it away from that Kop end. But Liverpool are certainly knocking on the door now, there's no question about that. Harvey Elliott, his influence in the second half has grown so much. He's been absolutely influential in everything that Liverpool have done. Super play, but that is so close. Wow.
We've just seen the goal decision system review of that incident, and we can tell you that the ball did hit the line. Half of it was on the line, the other half didn't cross it. As a result of that, it's still Liverpool 1, Leicester City 1. Somehow they've made a change. Cassidy has gone off and he's been replaced by Wilfred Ndidi. A little bit of experience in the middle of the park. He actually has played a little bit further up this season, Wilfred Ndidi. And he's on the pitch now and he's just anchoring that midfield position. Chowdhury takes over, plays it towards the right. Back to Chowdhury once again. 1-1 hitting the hour mark on TalkSport 2. Remember, over on TalkSport, Brentford taking on Arsenal. That was a bit of a hefty challenge on Younes Sakun, and the referee still looking to see if he's okay before deciding whether to call a halt to proceedings. There is a foul there by Ndidi on Wataru Endo. I just wonder whether or not there's going to be a yellow card here for Tsimikas and his challenge over on the far side. I'd be surprised if he gets away with one, because both Pereira and Chowdhury were booked for less.
Yeah, I agree with that, Sam, and I think, if the referee's going to be honest the whole way through this game, I think Tsimikas is walking across the referee now and he's going to get away with it. I mean, if you're going to referee a game properly from start to finish, from the yellow cards that we've already seen in this game so far, Tsimikas should have been in the book there and then. It's a block challenge. We've seen that in the first half. I think it was with a Pereira yellow card. And it needs to happen. I mean, it was a 2v1 situation for Leicester City down their right-hand side. And Tsimikas knew that, and he knew he had to make a foul. It has to be a yellow card.
Andrew Moran gets his second goal in English football. Blackburn 4, Cardiff 2. Your old club bossing it at Ewood Park tonight. And their next game is against Leicester City on Sunday, and Ricky Gray will be there for the Sunday session next Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to that. And we've got all the goals as they're going for the WSL on Sunday as well. A really big day of WSL football, Premier League football, Championship football, Scottish football, live on TalkSport. It's TalkSport 2 tonight, though, for Liverpool against Leicester, and it's finally poised as the ball is elevated over the top of the Liverpool defence. Curtis Jones funnels back into the right-back position, heads it clear into the centre circle. He brings the ball, he looks out wide to Doak and then teases it into the right channel. Doak had stopped his run, and Jones is complaining about that, and the ball runs through to Stolarczyk. Jakub Stolarczyk, the Polish goalkeeper, making his 4th appearance of the season. He's been at Leicester since he was 16, went to Hartlepool last season, the goalie. He's delighted to make his league debut against Huddersfield earlier in the season. And he's led a bit of a charmed life tonight, hasn't he?
I think the whole backline of Leicester City have had a charmed life tonight, haven't they? It's just silly mistakes, Sam, as I mentioned at half-time, that they probably get away with on a weekly basis in the Championship, but you don't get away with when you're playing against Liverpool. Certainly not attacking the Kop end in the second half as well. I mean, it's like a magnet, that ball, isn't it? It's kind of dragged into the net because of the noise that they make and how they haven't found themselves a goal behind that Gakpo opportunity there. It was a great header. It was all he could do, that little glancing header on target, off the crossbar, and for all it looked from where we were as if it had gone by the line.
Tackler about to come on now as Jota tries to get away over on the left-hand side. He does well enough to play the ball into Doak, who's moved into a left-wing position, gets it back to Jota inside the box, can't get it out of his feet, and he ends up being challenged by Ricardo Pereira. The ball deflects behind and it goes away for a corner kick. I think that's a little bit generous from Tim Robinson, and Ricardo Pereira is making that point to him. as Patson Daka gets ready to come onto the field of play. There will be another change for them as well. And Jurgen Klopp looked like he was having fun at the weekend. 5 successive league wins, taking his team up into second in the Premier League. At the same stage last season, his team had 2 and were trailing the pace setters by 6 points. But the midfield reboot, the reset and development of Darwin Núñez has started to indicate there might be more from them this season. They've certainly looked good here, the B team, as the ball comes in towards the 6-yard box, put behind by Cody, goes out for another corner. And the squad does look more deeper, doesn't it? There's more cover and there's more invention in the forward positions as well.
No, absolutely, and that's certainly what Jurgen Klopp needs, is competition for places. And you don't play for Liverpool if you haven't got the energy, and you cannot run, because every single one of them are just runners now until the final whistle, and he's certainly got that in abundance now.
Corner over on the far side to be taken by Tsimikas, left-footed outswinger, headed away by Ndidi into the air, goes straight behind, and he'll have another chance. The Greek international. A bit of an interesting international break. He didn't play for Greece against Gibraltar because the Greek FA thought he was suspended, but he wasn't. So he just sat out. Ball in towards the near post. Kakpo helps it on. It's half cleared. Picked up by Jones and then played to the left to Gravenberg. Into Tsimikas once more. Into Gravenberg midway inside opposition territory. Leicester come out trying to stop Liverpool from getting in behind them. Endo has sent it wide. Tsimikas with a chance to cross into the Leicester box now. Instead he lays it off to Gakpo. Can't find Gravenberg. And maybe a chance to break. No, ball given away cheaply by Casey McAteer. Worked wide to the right. Now picked up by Ben Doak. He's inside the penalty area. Goes on the outside. Then pulls it back towards Elliott. Elliott tries to slam it towards goal, but it was vicious but not accurate. Over the top of the bar, and Stolarczyk just looks to the sky as it goes flying into the Kop end, and it remains 1-1.
Well, he was never really set for that one, Harvey Elliott, was he? On his wrong, his weaker right foot. But again, it's Liverpool just working the lines over to this right-hand side. And Ben Doak, absolutely superb. I think moving forward, what he has to try and improve is his final pass. He's done it a couple of times in the second half where he's put some very good balls into the box. But I think there was one criticism for the young man which he can work on. It's certainly his end product, his crossing, his finishing, but that will come. It will certainly come in time. But the talent he has, he's comfortable going left and right. He's got that blistering pace to get away from full-backs. I mean, he's given James Justin an absolute nightmare at times tonight. There's no question of that. And as I'm speaking, it's Leicester City is starting to make those substitutions themselves, which they need things to freshen up a little bit. It's not working out for them in the second 45 minutes, and it's got that feel about it, this game. In the last 25 to 30 minutes of this game coming up to the final whistle, it feels like Leicester are going to be hanging on to what they've got right now.
Off comes Kalichi here now, joking this Haku and Marco Brighton. Isahaku Patawu, the Ghanaian left-footed who joined on loan from Sporting Lisbon, is on. So is Kieran Dewsbury Hall and Patson Daka. Szoboszlai and Darwin Núñez coming on as well. Ben Doak getting a standing ovation from the Liverpool crowd, and quite rightly so. He's been pretty bright tonight.
Yeah, well, again, I just reiterate what I've just said about him, Tom. He's been absolutely fantastic, and listen to that round of applause, standing ovation for a 17-year-old who's been top class tonight. He really has. A big hug from his manager as well. What a talent that young man is going to be. What a career he's going to have.
Dominic Szoboszlai on for Gravenberg as well. All change for Liverpool and for Leicester as we go into the final 25 minutes of the game. Leicester playing out from the back. Indeed, he's given it away inside the area to Daka, and somehow Harry Souttar has steered it away, but back it comes through Endo. And once again, that was a kick out from the back, a goal kick from the back, and immediately Liverpool were on them and pressing them and pushing them. The pressing has been brilliant from Liverpool, but boy, have Leicester invited it.
Absolutely, you just can't. It's impossible to give the ball away as much as Leicester City and not concede goals. Albeit the game stands at 1-1 at the moment, but there's only one side that really look like they're going to go forward and win this game and go through to the next round of the Carabao Cup.
1-1. Queven Kelleher all in black. There's hardly anything to do in the last hour or so since that goal went in past him early in the game. He kicks the ball into midfield and gets it back again, strokes it out to the far side. I think he was thinking about leaving in the summer till Jurgen Klopp sat down with him and told him that being number 2 at Liverpool is not a bad position to be in. Ball out on the right hand side, and Leicester, who had won the ball back after Szoboszlai made a mistake, then just basically ran it out into their own left full-back position. Were lucky to get a throw-in. 66 gone. TalkSport. Liverpool 1, Leicester City 1. Leicester City in the Championship at this moment in time and leading that Championship. These two met in the competition 2 years ago when they were both Premier League sides at the quarter-final stage. It was an absolute belter. It finished 3-3. Liverpool winning on penalties. Leicester were 2-0 up and 3-1 up. And Liverpool had to really dig in to fight back. And it was a Takumi Minamino 90th minute equaliser that took us to penalty kicks that night. It was a thriller. And this has been a really good game. But what is the most perplexing thing about the whole thing is that it's still 1-1.
Yeah, perplexing is we've only seen 2 goals. When you think about the opportunities that Liverpool had in the first half, I think it was 16. They've added to that in the second half. They're the side that is certainly going for it. And they look as if they're going to do that by the end of this football match, which is why Leicester City have had to ring the changes, freshen things up, just to see if they can make something happen.
A yellow balloon was just popped down in front of us, and it went fizzing across our eye line from one side of the stand to the other. There's quite a bit of detritus on the pitch as well because of the wind that's howling around here. I don't know if that's made it difficult at times for the two sets of players, but Liverpool certainly haven't looked like they've been uncomfortable. Here's Gakpo playing it out to the far side, and Tsimikas forward by Endo into the chaos man Darwin Nunez, who's trying to get towards the edge of the penalty area as Newcastle take the lead against Manchester City at St James's Park. What a big goal that could be. Collected on the right side by Ricardo Pereira as Leicester come forward looking to respond. They find it wide right, and it's sent in towards the near post by Fatawu, and it's caught by Kelleher, and Liverpool pick it up and run it clear. Gakpo in the number 10 position now, dropping behind Nunez, as I think he tries to do more often than not. Plays it on towards, over the halfway line, on towards the left wing position now, and Diogo Jota, who's peeled out there, produced a cross into the box, is going to come to Elliott, who chests it down, leaves it for Szoboszlai, who couldn't pull the trigger because he was under pressure, and it bounces through to Solarczyk, and it's cleared away by Leicester. 1-1.
What a ball. Nice little move from Liverpool down the left-hand side there. Jota showing a clean pair of heels to his full-back. Puts a great ball into the box with his left foot. There's Harvey Elliott, just chest that down. I just wonder whether he tried to chest it for himself and finish off with a wonderful volley, but unfortunately it didn't come down quick enough for him. I think that's what the impatience was. He was trying to stretch the legs up to get the finish away.
Gakpo edge of the area, trying to come in field, Szoboszlai, and then he tries to steer it back to Endo and just about keeps them in possession. Newcastle's goal coming from Alex Isak in the second half. After just 53 minutes of that game, there's still a way to go in the 8 o'clock kickoff, and Adrian Durham is there over on TalkSport this moment in time. Gakpo plays it down the left as Nunez comes into the area. He tries to take on the challenge and gets past Chowdhury and then can't get past Wilfred Ndidi. Endo into Szoboszlai, bit of space, right-footed shot, and that's an absolute crackerjack. 25 yards from goal. He smacked it so hard, he almost took the frame of the goal out of the ground. It kissed the underside of the bar, rippled the net, and Liverpool finally have their lead. Dominik Szoboszlai, who's been a fantastic acquisition this summer, has endeared himself to the crowd already, and a goal in front of the clock is certainly going to do that. Liverpool lead by 2-1.
Well, that's just absolutely unbelievable. What a strike. I mean, you can't get anything more behind that. It's just got pace on it, drive, it never moves. And as soon as he picks the ball up, Szoboszlai there, it's a couple of touches out of his feet, and he just rifles that one into the top corner. And it gives Solarczyk absolutely no chance. 2 or 3 goalkeepers could have been in that goal and got nowhere near that. It is a rocket. What a finish from an absolute top-class player.
He's settled in seamlessly. He's probably the jewel in the engine room makeover, isn't he? Dominik Szoboszlai. A 70th minute goal puts Liverpool 2-1 in front, and it's a lead, Mickey Gray, that they without doubt deserve. He scored his first goal against Villa. He took that brilliantly, and this one, his first goal in front of the Kop, was an absolute banger from the edge of the box.
It's just incredible, isn't it? And you're right what you say, Sam. It's all that Liverpool deserve. I think it was just a matter of time before the goals were going to come. We had to wait until the second half, but not too long for the equaliser. But that second goal, it's something else. I mean, you can't hit the ball any harder than that and keep it on target, right into the postage stamp. It's just absolutely top class.
Nicholas Jackson's got a second goal on the night for Chelsea, and they lead by 2 goals to 0 against Brighton. West Ham are 1-0 up away at Lincoln. Remember that scoreline that Newcastle lead Manchester City by goals to 0. The holders are leading here by 2 goals to 1. The holders, that was last night. These were the holders 2 years ago. That Chelsea goal, I think, has been chalked off for offside. Fulham, though, have taken a 2-goal lead against Norwich. That's the latest from the Carabao Cup. Liverpool, holders 2 years ago, leading Leicester by 2 goals to 1 with 18 minutes to go. And that goal from Szoboszlai, well, that deserves special praise because it was a really good strike, wasn't it? And they made a banner for him earlier in the week, I noticed. He's been taken to top hearts, and he is the man who is certainly creating headlines once again. That could be the winning goal tonight for Liverpool. And Leicester City, who have brought on some of their more established names, haven't been able to respond since Liverpool got their equalising goal, really. Here's Szoboszlai again. Look at the space out wide on the left-hand side for Jota. He wanted it earlier, but Szoboszlai didn't feed him. It comes back to Tsimikas instead, who's on the left. He moves into opposition territory, played out towards the wide position, and Gakpo plays it against the defender, although it may come back off the Dutchman and smuggle behind and away for a goal kick away to our right. The rain coming in off the Mersey now, and it's swirling around, squally inside the huge Anfield Arena, and all of the people in the front row of the stand away to our left-hand side are getting a little are getting wet, whereas the Leicester fans just getting nervous because their team are trying to play out from the back again, and they've done their best 3 times to give it away. They've kept hold of it this time, and Casey McAteer has been sent through the middle again. Down the left he goes into the channel, inside the box, needs to pull it back to the edge of the area where Gakpo is waiting. He didn't. He got tackled by Jarell Cancer, and he put it out for a goal kick with brilliant poise and enthusiasm. He just jutted out one of his incredibly long legs and prodded it against the onrushing McAteer, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick. Good defending.
It's incredible, isn't it? Leicester City, whenever they get the ball, your heart's in your mouth, isn't it? But it's a wonderful move and some great passing to find themselves free on this left-hand side through McAteer, but got a forward player in Cody Gakpo working his socks off to help out his teammates to come back and make a 1v1 last-ditch challenge like that. No wonder the Liverpool supporters absolutely love him here.
It's a wonderful move from Leicester because it comes off, but it nearly didn't come off 3 times. and I don't think it looks as easy on the eye as maybe it's designed to. It looks at times as if everything is a stretch.
Yeah, which is why I said heart in mouth, Sam. And it's got that feel about it, hasn't it? You're like, oh no, what a wonderful pass that is, and then they're in. Because they've certainly got the pace in those forward positions to scare Liverpool. There's no doubt about it, but they're not showing it enough.
I totally get the game plan, which is beat the press, have an extra man in the opposition's half, and then spread the play into one of the areas where the spaces are and charge after it and get a chance on goal. It worked in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. But so many times trying to do that, they've presented Liverpool with opportunities. It's been almost sort of inviting more and more pressure. Get the game plan. I think then, I think obviously this is a much changed team, and maybe their first 11 executes it a little bit better, but I can understand why there's a few Leicester fans that have been a little bit nervous about the approach.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to rely on that every single week, would you? Out overplaying at the back and not making mistakes if that's the way your side are going to play week in, week out. But as you say, you've got to take that into consideration. 10 changes. I know we've had substitutions in the game as well, but it's a risky way to play.
Here come Liverpool again. Darwin Núñez trying to get the better of Suter, and he's done just that. And on the left-hand side, there's space for Jota. He doesn't use him. He goes for goal instead. It's wide of the upright. It wasn't a great effort from Darwin Núñez, despite the use from the crowd. Yeah, they love him. Yeah, he's big and he's swashbuckling and he causes chaos. But just there, he had the opportunity. If he'd just thought a little bit quicker, once he got away from Suter, if he'd spread it immediately down the left channel, Jota was in.
Yeah, he did. He had two on the left-hand side of him. It was a difficult pass, the reverse pass. But again, was he a little bit too greedy and taking a shot on himself? I mean, he made it himself, didn't he? He got it onto his right-hand side. He's got a little bit of Torres about him, Sam. I don't know if you agree with that. Look, maybe not in front of goal as of yet in the Liverpool shirt, but same kind of build. When he picks up that ball and starts running at defenders, he scares the life out of you, but I think his end product has got to be a little bit better.
Fernando Torres, or as they call him, Torres El Niño. Yeah, that's him. Was a hit here at Anfield in his first couple of seasons before going to Chelsea, and it didn't really just get going for him, and his career never hit the heights of his first period at both Atletico and at Anfield. Here is Jones trying to squeeze the ball out from the right fullback position. He gets pushed out by the Leicester press, and the ball's out for a throw in the left wing position. That was a bit sloppy from Jones this time. He's been playing in an unfamiliar right fullback position today. He's played there before. And it's on to Justin. Justin goes down under pressure from Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai penalised, a free kick for Leicester City. Now, Leicester City have got 13 minutes to go. I think this is the first time in around about an hour that they've had a set piece in opposition territory.
Yes, he came close, didn't he, through that McAteer run, but that brilliant challenge from Cody Gakpo was probably about as close as they'd come. So an opportunity like this come few and far between, and when you've got the height and the presence of people like Harry Suter in that 6-yard area, you've got to try and find him, you've got to try and pick him out, because this might be your only opportunity.
Aberdeen are 2-0 up against Ross County now in the Scottish League Cup, as the ball will be delivered by Dewsbury Hall from the left wing position. It's almost tight to the bylines. It's like a hockey short corner, this, for Leicester City. Left-footed, the ball goes in deep towards the far post, and it was aimed towards Casey McAteer. It flicks away by Jota, and it's out for a throw on the far side. There was no real danger with that.
No, there wasn't, Sam, and that's the disappointing thing about it, isn't it? I mean, you know, you can see there's enough Leicester City players in that Liverpool 18-yard box, but are they just going up there to make the numbers? Or are they thinking in the back of the mat, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to try and score here? It didn't have that feel about it. You know, even the cross into the box was a kind of a floaty one to the back stick. Got to do better than that.
Up comes Curtis Jones. On comes Stefan Bajcetic. Very well thought of players. No secret that Bajcetic is seen as a long-term prospect for the Spain national side. And he will go in and play the last few minutes at right back. And he hasn't had too many starts. His only start since March was against Lask. Made his debut for the under-21s. In midweek, and Leicester complaining that there was a foul inside the box there as the ball was thrown in from the right hand side. Dewsbury Hall went down, referee glanced at it, nothing more than that, took a deflection, went behind it, is away for a Leicester corner.
Just a little bit of contact there. Dewsbury Hall, I think it was Simicast who just barged into the back of him a little bit, but I think he went down
actually
a little bit too softly.
Yeah, not much in that. There's the corner over on the far side to be taken by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Indeed, waiting for the delivery, so is Suter, who slips. It goes into the near post. It's away by Endo. And then Elliott will chase as the ball is picked up over on that far side. They just about keep it in with Fatawu, and then they almost give the ball away. It's Chowdhury who's put the ball down the right channel, and Fatawu is in behind the defence here. He's into the box. He's got 4 in the 18-yard area. Tries to steer it centrally. There's a good tackle by Konate, who tidies up for Liverpool, played it against the Ghanaian and wins the goal kick. And it's a great challenge by Ibrahima Konate to nullify a Leicester attack, which came about by a big challenge in the middle of the park from Hamza Chowdhury.
Well, those last-ditch challenges that Liverpool have done on 2 occasions now have been absolutely fantastic, haven't they? Standing your ground, waiting for the wide player just to drop a shoulder, but reading of the situations have been absolutely excellent. And that's staying concentrated, switched on, and doing your job until that final whistle, to seeing the game out.
It's a good dart down the right-hand side from Abdul Ishaku Fatawu, left-footed Ghanaian.
was going to ask you a question, sorry Sam.
Go for it.
Number 8, Szoboszlai. Oh my goodness me.
Oh my word. They've done it again, Leicester City. They played it short, then didn't know where they were going, almost gave it to Darwin Núñez, played it left of the 6-yard box to Conor Cody, who flicked it up and he hit the hand of Elliott, so they get away with it and they have a free kick.
Can you remember, I'll go back to Norwich when they got promoted, maybe not the last time but the time before that, and they came into the Premier League and tried to keep playing the way that they had in the Championship, and in the first 3 or 4 games I think Liverpool beat them 5, Man City, I think there was a hat-trick from somebody. That's what, it's got that feel about Leicester City of what they're doing right now.
They got done here, didn't they? Did they get done here 7?
Probably. If they were playing out like that, then yes. I remember Luis Suarez scored a lot of goals against Norwich, didn't he?
It was Norwich against Liverpool. And I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm sure there was, I think you're right, and I think it was 7, something like that, in the early weeks of the season. Maybe I've gone a little bit too harsh with that. I'll have a look. I'll try and get back to you. Here is Daka down the left-hand side. Picked up by Daka again, played in field. Maybe 4. Núñez chasing. Ball breaks on halfway. But I know what you mean. Just continuing to play when they know it's not working and then getting themselves in a hell of a lot of trouble. Ball spread to the far side by James Justin. Not going to reach him. Goes out of play. And Blackburn lead Cardiff by 5 goals to 2 now.
If I go back to that question, Sam, that's probably 2 I've got now with the Norwich thing, but that was a bit left field. Szoboszlai's wearing the number 8 shirt. Has anybody worn it in between himself and Steven Gerrard?
No. Oh, Naby Keita did, yeah.
Naby Keita. Yeah, I was going to say, big shoes to fill, but keep scoring goals like that, then they'll absolutely love them.
Yeah, I think there was a little brief period where it wasn't used, and then Naby Keita took it, in the last year of his... contract before he ended up moving on to pastures new. Szoboszlai seems to be built for it though, doesn't he? And he's scored a Steven Gerrard-esque goal, which may well win this cup tie. We've got 7 minutes to go. Liverpool 2, Leicester 1. Liverpool have got Spurs away on Saturday. What a big game that is for them, and they're just starting to find their rhythm at the right time, I think. Liverpool against a Spurs side that won't lay down and be beaten. I think we'll learn a lot more about both of them at the weekend, especially with the games that the others have got this weekend. All the big boys are in action on Saturday, by the way. On Sunday, just the one game that we're bringing on the Sunday session. We're off to Aston Villa against Brighton on Saturday. Looking forward to that one. Rashmin Chowdhury and I will be there from 11 o'clock in the morning, live on TalkSport. Game day comes from Villa Park. Here is Jota after the ball was won on halfway by Wataru Endo. And then Núñez plays it centrally. Szoboszlai, a chance to shoot from distance again. It's only just over the top. This was just a little bit further out. And 26, 27 yards from goal. He let fly once again. It went swirling towards the top corner, and it was narrowly over the top from Dominik Szoboszlai.
Well, you had to wait until it went firing over the top of the crossbar, didn't you, Sam? Because it looked oh so close. Oh my goodness me! I mean, what a strike he's got on him. It's just, I mean, he's got so much space to get his strike away, but he gets his laces through it and he fires it towards that goal again. I mean, you get one brilliant one. Why not add to it?
Why not? 2-1 Liverpool with 5 minutes to go. It could have been 3-1 if that Szoboszlai one had just gone a couple of inches lower. It was only narrowly over the top, wasn't it? I mean, it was a whisker away from nestling in the corner. Stolarczyk not happy at all. He thought that his midfielders and defence should have closed down Szoboszlai, and he's probably right. Here's Wataru Endo inside his own penalty area. There was a challenge there on Fatawu. The referee has allowed play on. It's cleared by Konate, and then Szoboszlai looks to escape over the halfway line. He's got space for Jota on the far side. Núñez is waiting in the centre. Szoboszlai wants it back again. It's given towards Harvey Elliott instead, who took a touch when he should have pulled the trigger. It's back into the 6-yard box and it's cleared away. Comes back out to the right side. Bajcetic with a cross, headed away by Cody. And then Daka will get it to Fatawu and they'll clear upfield, Leicester City. But Harvey Elliott there really should have finished that chance. Well, Wataru Endo's gone steaming in the middle of the park on Fatawu. That's going to be a yellow card for him. I don't think he'd have too many complaints about that. That was a challenge he didn't need to make with that velocity, and that's a yellow card. Yeah,
no complaints of that. But the move just prior to it from Liverpool again was fantastic. Through the lines, outstanding. Jota just cutting inside. It looked like he was going to take the shot on. What a pass into Harvey Elliott. And I think his performance tonight deserved a goal, Elliot, but his touch just got away from him, and you're right, Sam, I think he should have played it. First time was a better opportunity.
Here they come again, Liverpool, down the left-hand side after Chowdhury gave the ball away. It was from Jota to Nunez and then cleared by Leicester. Dewsbury Hall's trying to release Patson Daka, who's incredibly rapid. He goes through the middle of the park, then plays it on to Ndidi, who's bursting through the centre. Ndidi trying to keep his feet. Konate's across again, shuts him down, stops him from pulling the trigger, and Konate gets roundly applauded by the Liverpool supporters, who recognise his worth in that situation and in many other situations as well. He just put his foot down on the accelerator, caught up with Ndidi and put him off. Here's Nunez at the other end, getting the ball, shooting towards the far corner and missing the target. Elliott played it into him on the edge of the D, took a touch to come in field, rifled the shot goalwards. What an open game this is, Mickey Gray.
Pass of the night, without any question. Absolutely superb from this right-hand side.
Darwin Nunez, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the right side. What a pass. The run was perfect from Nunez. The only thing missing was that finish.
Well, he took the ball down and moved it infield, didn't he? Right on the edge of the D, went to play it towards the far corner. One back by Gakpo on the far side when it looked like a lost cause. He's dragged to the floor by Ricardo Pereira, who's kicked the ball away. Should be booked for that, and therefore sent off because he's already been booked. He's committed a foul, then he's smashed the ball away in frustration. He should be booked, he's not going to be, and the referee is not employing the rules that they said they were going to employ at the beginning of the season.
And this is what I mean about consistency with referees. That Tsimikas challenge in the second half, he should have got a yellow card, didn't. And then we've just seen there, because he's on a yellow card, Ricardo Pereira. And you're right, Sam, if the referees are letting players at certain times of games get away with silly little fouls like that, then they're going to keep making these fouls because they know the referees are going to be a little bit lenient. But we want to see 11v11 at the end of the game. That's what we're here for. But the laws of the game say if you make a foul and you're on a yellow card, you should receive a second one and you should be walking off the field right now.
Corner kick, which Tsimikas will take. It's a free kick, but it's in from the corner flag. Looks like a corner. A little bit closer to the penalty area. There's a 10-yard distance to Fatawa. The ball in towards the near post, headed away, comes back out towards Harvey Elliott, who sends it square edge of the D. That's a poor pass by Szoboszlai, and Dewsbury Hall looking to escape, can't get away because Elliott does his duty. One by Quansah on this near side. He charges into the box, plays it through the centre. Little backheel from Jota. What a goal! Oh, what a finish! Jarell Quansah with a darting run down the right-hand side, squaring the ball to the edge of the 6-yard box, and then with his back to goal, a little flick between his own legs, a back heel of top class from Diogo Jota, and Liverpool have a 3-1 lead, a margin of victory that probably tells a better story, a greater reflection of the balance of play over the course of the 90 minutes. But take nothing away from the finish. It was sublime skill from the Portuguese maestro. A little back heel which caught out the Leicester defence and creates a startling finish and a wonderful goal.
Well, it's just cheeky, isn't it? That finish from Diogo Jota in the celebration at the end, or lack of it. I think he just looks up into the sky, doesn't he, and just sees it drift in on that far post. It's brilliant. But Pacheta, I talked about the best pass of the night into Darwin Nunez about a minute ago. Well, he's just played another super little ball down the right-hand side that he had to work himself. And Jota, just seen he's got a little tight angle, flicking between his heels. It's outstanding. All that, you have to say, all that Liverpool deserve. They should have scored more tonight. But the last two finishes have been absolutely first class, they really have.
Diogo Jota with the third goal of the night. Liverpool winning by 3-1. We've hit 90 minutes. Luke Chambers comes on at left back in place of Kostas Tsimikas, and Liverpool now are quite happy to make the substitutions because they know that this game is done. And look, it's a healthier margin of victory than they had a couple of minutes ago, but it's nothing more than they deserve. They've absolutely battered Leicester City over the course of the 90 minutes, really. And Leicester, who have been guilty of giving the ball away in rather cheap situations all night, have got the punishment that really they deserve for overplaying.
Yeah, I think as the season goes on, Sam, I think we'll probably judge Leicester on where they are in the Championship, and I think a lot of people probably expect them to be at the top of the table, but they'll get away with mistakes in the Championship, as I mentioned before, that they've not got away with tonight. You keep giving the ball away to top quality players, and eventually, before the 90 minutes is over, they'll punish you.
Gakpo's just fouled Ricardo Pereira. 6 minutes of added time at the end of the 90 in this Carabao Cup round 3 game. Liverpool will be ball number 15 in the draw a little bit later on, which you'll be able to hear on the Sports Bar over on TalkSport at 10 o'clock tonight with Adam Catterall and Jermaine Pennant. 03717223344 is the number to call if you want to take part in that and get your calls on national radio. And they'll bring you the draw and all the reaction from tonight's games, including, it might be Pep Linders that Declan McCarthy has to go and speak to. I hear Pep Linders really likes golf, so you'll be fine, mate. 2 minutes into the 6 that are added on. Listen to that Liverpool crowd. It's interesting, isn't it, because at the beginning of the season I don't think many people thought that Liverpool had done enough in the transfer market to maybe push Manchester City as they come forward against search for a fourth. It's Gakpo inside the area from Jota's pass. He steps past 2 challenges, gets a shot in, takes a deflection, and then eventually they get numbers back to stop it from being a fourth. But Liverpool put together a squad now that have managed to rack up points even when they haven't been playing perfectly, and that's given them promise. Ball into the area by Darwin Núñez, who is once again a whirlwind inside the penalty area. He's committed a foul, and that's going to be a free kick over on the far side. I was waiting for that. But yeah, 16 points from 18 available. That's a really good start, isn't it? In a cityless era, that's gold standard, isn't it, for Liverpool? They've done very well at the beginning of the campaign.
Well, Jurgen Klopp certainly has a set way of playing, and it's all about high energy, that high press. And he certainly hasn't had that in that midfield area over the last season and a half to 2 seasons, and knew he had to have a look at it. Individuals have left the side, as we know about, but he's went out and he's been very astute in the players that he's brought into this Liverpool squad, and they've just fitted in so well. I mean, we're talking about players tonight: Szoboszlai, wonderful strike; Gravenberch, McAllister, World Cup winner. They've got energy and they've got quality in there to help out those forward players, and they'll run Man City close this season, Sam. I'm not saying that they're going to win the title along with Arsenal. I think there's no doubt they're the 3 best sides that I've seen so far this season.
Liverpool lead by 3 goals to 1 against Leicester City with 3 minutes to play of stoppage time. James Justin has a free kick on the left-hand side, deep inside Liverpool territory, wide of the penalty area, delivers the ball into the box, away by Núñez, goes back to Chowdhury. He hesitates, played it wide, and then it's infield by Fatterwell, blocked by Bajcetic over on the far side. It goes out for a throw. Everton going through. They're leading by 2 goals to 1 against Aston Villa in stoppage time. Blackburn thrashing Cardiff 5-2. Bournemouth are beating Stoke. They're going through. Arsenal 1-0 up against Brentford. They're on their way through. Chelsea squeezing through past Brighton 1-0. Fulham 2-1 up against Norwich. Lincoln going out. They have been beaten at home by West Ham by a goal to 0. Liverpool steaming through. And Newcastle at the moment knocking out Manchester City. That's the state of play in the Carabao Cup tonight. The draw for the next round is live over on TalkSport just after 10 o'clock tonight. Make sure you join them for that. It's after the conclusion of that Newcastle-Manchester City game. There's still a little bit of time to go in that, because that kicked off at 8 o'clock. We've got 90 seconds of stoppage time to play here on TalkSport 2. Liverpool looking for a 4th straight win over the Foxes. Leicester, who usually love this club, 3 times winners in the last 6 seasons. They've been quarter-finalists in at least 5 of those campaigns, and they'll be going out tonight and be able to concentrate till January on the Championship. And as a result of that, Liverpool will progress into the next round of the competition and be fighting still for 4 pieces of silverware. Given away by Stolarczyk into Jota, edge of the area, tries to take him on, pokes it past him. Here's Elliott, cleared off the line again. Cody's cleared off the line 3 times tonight. It would have been 6 if it hadn't have been for him. What a debut he's having at the heart of the Leicester defence. He just shakes his head, he can't quite believe it. Jakub Stolarczyk giving the ball away to Diogo Jota inside the penalty area, and Liverpool couldn't punish them once again, but mainly because of Cody. He's now given the ball away. It's picked up by the same player as it's played forward by Szoboszlai. Enzo Maresca is probably dying for the final whistle to go. Ball half cleared by Leicester City. He did warn that he had been prepared for failure after such a great start, Enzo Maresca. He said, last night a big manager, a big friend said to me, the more you win, the closer you are to failure. Well, they're quite close to failure every time they play the ball out from the back, Mickey Gray.
I just don't know how Harvey Elliott's not scored. I mean, he's had 2 brilliant opportunities, hasn't he? But this one, it's a coming together between the goalkeeper and Jota. But when it falls into Harvey Elliott's path from 2 yards out, he's probably celebrating before he scores.
Full-time whistle.